Hi all, this is a review of my Bitcoin dollar trade I did yesterday. So for this trade, it was a buy trade, but it starts from the weekly. And on the weekly, I see this range over here, and I've been bullish on this ever since this point when price made a lower high but did not make any lower low, and price seems to be just holding the bottom of this range, and the move down is just achieving nothing recently over the past few weeks. So I am anticipating one of two things. I'm anticipating one of two scenarios to play out. The first scenario is a bit of a spike down below this range, and then a spike back up with very strong volume and force. So that's the first scenario, and I anticipate that to get to at least the top of this range, and potentially that swing on the weekly could be the breakout swing. The other scenario I'm anticipating, the second scenario that could play out, I think, is no spike, just move up very strongly, high volume and everything from around here to the top of the range. But this move, I anticipate, would be less likely to be the breakout move, and that it would need to do another few tests down before it does indeed break out. So those are the two main scenarios I'm anticipating at the moment, and that's been my view for a while. And lately I'm getting really interested in this. So although I trade mostly Forex, I've just been quite interested in this one recently, just over this weekend. Now, on the daily again, I see in the weekly range, another daily range at the bottom of the weekly range, which is excellent, really excellent for me, because this is showing a range within a range at the logical location of the higher time frame range. So the reward potential for these trades are usually much bigger. So in this one, I saw buyers come up, and then a bit of a sellers building up positions. Sellers come down, but they fail to break below of the range. And once I saw some sort of reaction by the buyers, I thought, okay, this is probably going to go up. On the 4 hourly, the story I saw was that area I highlighted on the daily, which is sellers building up positions. That's this over here, and they come down, but they really fail to do anything besides just break this zone of sellers building up positions. Besides that, they really fail to break any supports or anything. So I was bullish on this. Now on the 1 hourly, I saw a very nice range over here, where I think buyers will bring up positions for these reasons. Number one, I have very strong move up by the buyers here, and the sellers are just weakening and not strong compared to these buyers. And then the breakout happens, and then the breakout sort of happened on higher volume. It's sort of skewed by that huge volume over there. The volume in these instruments is quite erratic, but it's clear over here that the breakout did happen with higher volume than usual, than all of this volume, so that's a good sign. And I got in right over here, and this entry was based on both price action logic and level 2 data. So in these instruments, I have the access to level 2 data and the live trades data, which I find extremely useful to get very, very precise entries. But I still had despite that entry point, I still had my stops a bit wider, more of a Forex style stop. So if this is a Forex pair, typical Forex pair, that's where I would have my stops anyway, given the way I'm approaching trading at the moment. So got in over there, and then very, very pleased to see price start to move up relatively quickly with very strong movement up compared to this movement down, and then and then the price came down, and I saw over here, it's clearer on the 3 minutes, that price comes down, strong move up, and then strong move down, but it fails to reach the low over here. So this was like a trap. That's probably a good re-entry point, but I decided not to do that. I decided not to do that because mostly for the fees, I think, because the fees for this instrument for me are so that I need to get at least 10 points with the limit order entry, and I did the limit order entry. Market order entries cost more for me, so I need at least 10 points in my favor for the limit order entry before I break even. But I really could have added a position over there, but that's okay. So I was pretty confident that once this sell came down but failed to break this, this sort of action was happening. I was pretty confident that this was going up, and indeed that's what happened. And around when it was going up, very, very happy to see this strong move up, very, very happy. And then once this sell came down, or just before that sell came down, I was already anticipating that this is near the top of this small hourly range over here, and on the hourly, looks like the move up is not ideally as strong as I would like. So I did anticipate, or I did keep in mind that this could actually come down again and do another test of this area before going up. So I was careful on the 15 minutes. Now, this is the important point. Due to how the reaction started over here. So if we look at how the reaction started over here, first of all, to the left of it, there's really not much of a reaction. It's just a straight move down. Whereas over here, there was no building up of positions that I see on the hourly or on the 15 minutes. Very little building up of positions I see. Maybe you could argue over there, but that's a very small amount of building up of positions. So due to that reason, I anticipated that if price is going to come down, and by the way, at this point, once price had moved up over here, I had kept my stop loss over here, which I think was very logical, because if it breaks that point, then my whole idea for the buy is invalidated. So due to the fact that there was small building up of seller positions over here, but not too much, I anticipated that if this is going to go down, there needs to be some sort of build up of sell positions again. So that's why I did not get out at the first move down over here. And then this move up happened. Now, throughout all this point, I'm looking to get out with a limit order, not a market order, because market orders cost double, significantly more, and it does matter. So I'm looking to get out with a limit order. Ideally, as this candle was coming down, I would have gotten out. If this was Forex or something like that, I would have just executed a market order and gotten out at a much better price. But that didn't happen. I was looking to get out with a limit order. So what happened here was this came down and then even broke this small range and showed some spikes. And at this point, I thought, due to these spikes, they've just been taking away some buy liquidity over here, and the fact that price was still sort of struggling to make it any higher. I did not anticipate that this would actually go higher. I thought the spikes showed that price had downward pressure. So I was looking to get out at any retest of this area over here. So I put a limit order right there, and that got hit, and so I got out right there. And of course later on we see that indeed this was just actually accumulation in this scale. Buyers building up positions, and then buyers move up, get a bit of a better price closer to the top of this 1 hourly range, closer to the top of this 1 hourly range, and then the sell happens. So I think the idea for the sell, idea for the exit was absolutely correct, given that the move up by the buyers on the 1 hourly is not strong enough to continue this breakout move potential. So I did anticipate that move down. That was correct. The exit, not ideal, but the entry was pretty much perfect. So overall, quite happy with this trade, and especially my read of the trade. Now currently prices come down strongly and gone back up. I'm not in this trade at the moment. I'm just looking to get in somewhere around here. Stops over here. And of course, my criteria for getting in is that is the area of interest I have. Once this was coming up, I did feel a little bit of a need to get in, but I decided it's better to wait, because I see some sort of sellers building up positions over here, and therefore I expect some sort of sell reaction around this point. So I prefer to get in after this sell reaction, after the liquidity over here has been cleared, and I'll get in somewhere around here. What I need to see when I do get in is I need to see the level 2 action, that is the order book in the level live trades data line up with the momentum, with the price action and volume read. I need to see that, and hopefully I'll be able to get an entry like this again around that point. If although I may not be watching this so closely now because the forex markets are open. So overall, that's the trade. Thanks, and comments and questions are very much welcome.